Hey, it's Andrea with Good Diaper Free. I'm going to record podcast episode 83.5A. It's a bonus episode today about observation time. Welcome to my new studio. This is my new podcasting closet. We're like literally surrounded in maroon purple foam. It's so cool. So these were kind of ad hoc and last minute. This is also a guest post, so enjoy watching me record this podcast or just listen. Here we go. Welcome to the Good Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you stop depending on diapers as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. So this is episode 83.5A, a special bonus episode written by one of our certified coaches that is not only very timely given the current recommendations for self-isolation across the globe, but it's also a useful podcast for any regular day in the life, for whenever you need to relearn or learn your baby signals and timing for the first time or the millionth time and get better at EC with your baby. This is 10 golden rules for observation time, and by the way, how important this is during self-isolation and regular daily life for EC. You can read the written version of today's show and see all the cute photos over at gooddiaperfree.com/83.5A. I know that's a mouthful, I'm sorry. And this is where I'll also conveniently link to all the things I mentioned in today's episode. I will also be replying to comments over there, and so will Ariane, so please come on by when you're finished. Again, this is a guest post from Ariane, our certified coach in Chicago and Quebec. Enjoy her very own tips for doing observation time like a pro. You just found out about elimination communication, or EC, so you're skeptical yet curious. You want to give it a try. You are eager to start now. I get it. This was me too, 3 years ago when I first heard about EC. And again, this is in Ariane's words. You have seen a couple of YouTube videos, read some blog posts. You're thinking, let's do it. But please don't. Just wait a minute. Let me explain why you shouldn't skip the important first step of the Go Diaper Free method, observation time. Naked observation time is crucial to beginning your EC journey. Letting your baby be naked and watching him without pottying him yet will provide you tons of useful information to know your baby better and potty him or her more accurately. So before I tell you my 10 golden rules for observation time, let's first talk about why we do observation time. We'll learn when to potty baby and how to read your baby with the information learned during observation time. So this is part 1 of the Go Diaper Free method, in case you're curious, when to go potty. Part 1 is explained in detail in the Go Diaper Free book, along with part 2, how to go potty, and tons of other useful information. If you want to check out the book, it's at gooddiaperfree.com/the book. It's also linked to in this the show notes of this podcast today. So first, we're going to learn when we should take baby to the potty. As a Go Diaper Free certified coach, Ariane says, I can tell you that the main question people ask is, when do I potty my baby? Luckily for us, there are 4 answers to that question, 4 tools we use to practice EC and to determine when to offer the potty. The 4 roads to potty time are, number 1, your baby signals, number 2, generic timing or transition times, number 3, your baby's natural timing, and number 4, your intuition. To learn more about the 4 roads to potty time, grab Andrea's Easy Start Guide. I'll link to that in the show notes for today as well, but if you want the direct link, it's really easy to remember. It's gooddiaperfree.com/start. It's totally free. So the most intriguing of these tools is certainly the baby signals. As our society doesn't encourage us to look for these signs, we think our baby simply doesn't send them. We learn to identify when our baby is hungry and tired, when she is too hot or too cold, and when her diaper is already full. But her need to eliminate? Nope. We are told that babies have no awareness of their elimination, no control over their bladder and sphincter. Consequently, it would be impossible for a baby under 18 months, and even 2 to 3 years old, according to some pediatricians, to signal his or her need to go potty. However, EC is based on a radically different premise. We think babies have awareness of their elimination. In fact, we know these things. Our own experiences prove it. We think babies have the ability to control and communicate that need, and we know this too. Of course, their abilities in that matter are limited by their age and development, but not by much. I often get told by mothers that their baby never signals. To that, I reply, seek and you will find with observation time. Now, Ariane goes on to say, I'm not saying it's easy. Some babies have signals so subtle, almost imperceivable, especially for the busy modern parents we are. African mothers who wear their naked babies all day long are far better disposed than we are to learn their baby's elimination signals. They also have way more incentive to respond to these signals or they will get wet. In the West, we have to sit down and learn our babies. Which brings us to the second point, learn to read your baby with observation time. So luckily for us, there is an easy and accessible way to discover our baby's signals, observation time. I recommend doing a couple of observation sessions before starting infant potty training. Observation time allows us to have a better knowledge of our baby's signals, but also of his or her natural timing. So during sessions of naked observation time, we also start to build the sound associations we want to use in our EC practice. All of these things will directly contribute to our success in pottying our babies. And by the way, there are podcasts on both of those, natural timing and also baby signals and sound associations that are linked to from the show notes. So just go to goodiperfree.com/83.5a and you'll see the links to all that stuff there. Also, if you're going through a potty pause, and there's also a link to a show on that, having another session of observation can help you a lot. Potty pauses are common after external changes in your baby's life, such as traveling, moving, or starting daycare. And internal changes, such as teething or developing new skills like sitting up, or crawling, or walking, can also cause a potty pause. Since baby signals and natural timing evolve with their age and development, potty pause or not, we will continually benefit from occasional observation time. We will do this again and again. Now that we have a foundation of when to potty baby and how to read our babies better, here are Ariane's 10 golden rules for observation time. Although observation is not very difficult in itself, I've put together 10 simple tips to get the most out of your observation sessions. Number 1, give your baby all your attention. The most common error that I've made myself is to do all kinds of other things while you do observation time. During observation, you observe. That's all. It's not time to cook, fold laundry, or clean the house. You really have to give all your attention to your baby. I know it's hard. That's why I suggest to do 2 to 5 observation sessions. These sessions can be short. They can last anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple of hours, depending on your schedule. Number 2, don't bring your baby to the potty. It is best to have a good knowledge of your baby's signal and personal timing before starting to potty her. You will avoid unnecessary visits to the potty. Misguesses, as we say in EC lingo and EC slang, usually confuse and bother babies. We don't want that. Of course, you're excited to start EC. Just wait a little more, unless of course, you're 100% sure, like knowing your baby has to poop. In this case, you would take him. 3, leave your baby completely naked. Ideally, it's best you have your baby's bottom naked during observation, as the goal of observation is to identify your child's signals and their natural timing and build sound association. You have to be able to detect easily and quickly when he or she goes potty. If you leave your baby naked, you will have more precision. During naked observation time, you can protect your baby's surroundings with a waterproof pad. A yoga mat with an old towel works really well. Little boys can be placed on their tummy to avoid the infamous pee fountain. I must say it is easier to limit the mess when your baby is not mobile yet or does not crawl or at least does not walk. So if your baby is pre-mobile, start observing now. If your baby is mobile, try what we're about to say. If leaving your baby naked is not an option, either because they are moving around everywhere or for any other reason, you can use absorbent underwear such as tiny trainers, and there's a link in the show notes, or a minimalist diaper, sumo-style diaper, made with a flat diaper and a diaper belt. There are also links in the show notes on those. Those light protections will allow you to notice a pee or poo just by looking or by touching your baby. Avoid absorbent or plastic diapers or trainers, for they will make it impossible for you to notice easily when your baby goes potty. And there's a really cute little picture of her 6-month-old baby wearing 12-month tiny trainers. They fit very well and absorb enough, and you'll see that over in the show notes as well. There's another picture under that of her 2-week-old baby doing diaper-free time. This is a simple onesie I cut and sewed, so she has cut the snaps of a onesie off so she can more easily see what's going on. And there's another picture. A flat diaper with a snappy is an excellent option for parents who can't leave their baby naked. This is a La Latouche flat. It's a picture of that. And there's a picture of this one. I also like pre-folds and bandy band. This pre-fold is from Bummies, which are now discontinued, but the bandy band looks super cool. All right, number 4. Start after waking or feeding, not out of the blue. It can be tempting to say, okay, I have time now. Let's do observation. However, it is better to start from either a waking or a feeding. Since cycles of sleeping and feeding punctuate our days, it is best to use them as a point of reference for our observation sessions. At some point, visits to the potty will be incorporated into that sequence of events. So using waking or feeding as a starting point will also give you a better idea of your child's natural timing, which is another important road to potty time. Number 5, fill out your observation log. If you haven't already requested Andrea's Easy Start Guide, do it now. She will also send you her observation log. There's a link to both of those in the show notes. That will make observation time much easier. Note the time of your starting point, either a feeding or a waking. When your baby pees or poops, look for her signals. The Go Diaper Free book has a very complete list of potential signals among many explanations on what to expect. If you are not sure what to look for, the book can be very helpful. Did she start moving her legs? Did she cry? Did she get very still? Note all of that in your head. Then on your observation log, write it down along with the time it was when she went poo or pee. Number 6, build sound associations. Observation sessions are a good moment to establish the basis of communication with your baby. When you see your baby is starting to do his business, make the sound association or the signal you want him to learn. You can use sounds like psst, grunting, tongue clicking, or a soft whistle. These noises are ideal for younger babies that won't talk for a while. You can also use words if they're a little older or younger, doesn't matter. Words like pee and poop, potty and toilet. You can use sentences if they're a little older, like mommy pee-pee, daddy pee-pee, or potty please. Think about what you would like your child to say in the future when they want to go potty. They will learn by your repetition of the phrase you choose. So that's also a sound association, a word or a noise. Many parents have success using baby sign language too. It is recommended to introduce it around 6 months, although babies usually start to sign back to you later, typically around 8 months and up. Number 7, quickly change your child. Observation time is the moment to build the foundations of your EC practice. It is the starting point of many learnings. One thing we want to teach our baby is to know the difference between being dry and wet, clean and soiled, and what causes that change of state, that is, elimination. You may be thinking, do I really have to teach my child what is clean and dirty? He knows it. He cries when he is wet. Notice, though, how many older children don't seem to care that they pee and poop in their diaper, and at some point don't even want to pee and poop outside of the diaper. That makes potty training hard. But what makes it even harder is when children have no clue that they are peeing. It is extremely rare to not know that they're pooping, but pretty common with pee. They have been used to wearing diapers that are so efficient at staying dry that kids don't even know the difference between before and after peeing. Elimination communication is a great way to keep your child connected with his or her body functions, to learn to recognize and control them from a young age. This awareness makes potty training easier, if potty training is even ever needed. In order to make your baby understand where wetness comes from, change her diaper or backup right away. Just after she pees, change her undies or her pad. Your baby will also get used to being dry and clean, definitely, and want to preserve that state. Therefore, they will hold better and signal better. Number 8, do it even if it's cold. So if you are starting EC in the fall or winter, you may wonder if it is wise to do naked observation time during cold weather. There are many ways to keep your baby warm, even if his bottom is naked and your house is cold. The first tip is warm up the room you're in with a space heater. However, it's not always possible. So a sheepskin or wool puddle pad can also help keep a naked baby warm if you lay them on one. Dress your baby in warm clothes. Long sleeve shirt, fleece slippers, and even a little hat. Long socks and leg warmers are also helpful. Some clothes are even specially made for EC. Split pants come in a variety of shapes and styles. Open crotch pants, also called baby chaps or kaidangus, have a large opening in the crotch area. They allow easy access to the potty and usually don't get wet when a miss happens because they're pretty wide open. Another kind of split pants have a more discreet opening with overlapping panels. With this kind, parents usually have to help a little bit to open the pants during visits to the potty, but it remains easier than pulling pants up and down. There is a picture of wool split pants that Ariane made by upcycling an old wool dress over on the blog post. Split pants are really useful to practice EC and even potty training. They allow for comfortable observation time and diaper-free time during the cold season, as well as easy use of the potty, like during the night, for example. Split pants can also be worn with different kinds of backups over them, such as cloth diapers or training pants. All right. Number 9, have fun. This point echoes the first. Do nothing else during observation time. Resist the temptation to do something useful and enjoy the time spent with your baby to have fun with him. Depending on his age, make him smile, read a story, make funny faces, follow him in his adventures. EC should be fun, so there is no reason that observation wouldn't be too. I will always remember my daughter's first smile at 2 weeks old on the top hat potty after a poop. And number 10, analyze your log. Finally, once you have done a few observation sessions and you have filled a few log sheets, take time to analyze them. Try to find patterns. Try to find a range. Try to find out what signals come back most often. What is the interval between the starting point, which was waking or feeding, and the first pee? And what's the interval between the following pee? Does your child poop every day? At what moment? Is the frequency of pees different in the morning and afternoon? Does it change with seasons? Has it changed since your last observation session? There is so much to know about your child's elimination process that you will not be able to know everything, but don't worry. Many parents practice EC with very little information and it still works. In other words, no signals, no problem. However, if you manage to answer a couple of these questions, you will have a better knowledge of your baby's signals and natural timing. And this will make your EC practice much smoother and successful. Your visits to the potty will be more conclusive, which will be encouraging for you and less confusing for your baby. And a little side note, if you do all the above and observation time is still yielding nothing, read or listen to episode number 80. And that is it for Ariane's blog post, guest post, amazing stuff, very timely for everybody who has a lot of free time on their hands currently. And in the future, if you listen to this and we're no longer in this period of self-isolation. Hopefully this will be useful for you as well. Again, you can see the written version of today's podcast along with lots of links and pretty pictures over at godiaperfree.com/83.5a. That's 83.5a, all one thing, no spaces. Head over and let us know in the comments. Has Ariane convinced you to do observation time? When will you do it? If you've already done observation sessions, tell us how it went. We'll see you over there. Till next time when we have a couple more bonus podcasts on wipes and diaper alternatives during emergency situations. Happy pottying, y'all. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. And that's it. Yay! That was kind of a long one, but please comment below if you have plans to do observation. If you're watching this during the coronavirus pandemic and you are like, I really wanted to start EC, but I don't know why I haven't yet. Please do observation today. Write down below when you're going to do that, when you're going to do your first 30 minutes of it. The easiest way to start EC is just to take off the diaper and start. We all know this is true, but it's hard to do it. Easier for me to say than for you to do. So during this time, do it. If you see this video long after this pandemic has ended, then please use Ariane's advice on how to do observation time and write below at that time in the future what you're going to do, when you're going to do your first observation session, or if you did it, what did it yield? What did you learn? Please subscribe and hit the bell and I'll let you know when the next video is up. Thanks so much.